You step out of bed, and your legs feel shaky, uncertain, and you wonder how much longer you can trust them on the stairs or in the grocery store. Tonight, before you sleep, you can stir one simple ingredient into warm coffee or tea. And in 7 mornings, you may notice your legs feel steadier, your first steps feel surer, and your confidence returns in quiet, powerful ways. That ingredient is collagen peptides, specifically about 2 level tablespoons, or roughly 10 grams of unflavored hydrolyzed collagen powder stirred into 8 ounces of warm coffee, decaf coffee, or any warm beverage you enjoy, taken 60 to 90 minutes before you lie down for the night. The warmth helps the powder dissolve completely so you get a smooth texture without clumps, and the timing matters because your body does most of its tissue repair during deep sleep, especially in the first few hours after you drift off. When you deliver amino acids like glycine and proline right before rest, you give your muscles, tendons, and the connective tissue around your knees, hips, and ankles the raw materials they need to rebuild microtears from the day's walking, standing, and moving. That nightly repair translates into morning stability you can feel in your first steps out of bed. Think of it like restocking a construction crew's toolbox every evening so they have everything they need to repair the scaffolding overnight. If the crew runs out of materials halfway through the job, the structure stays weak and wobbly by morning. But if you hand them a full supply right before they start, they finish strong and you wake up standing on something solid. Collagen peptides are broken down into tiny pieces that your gut absorbs easily, even if your digestion has slowed over the years, and they travel through your bloodstream to the exact places where collagen naturally lives: cartilage, tendons, ligaments, and the fascia wrapping your muscles. Research in adults over 60 shows that consistent collagen supplementation paired with light movement can support improved leg strength, better balance confidence, and reduced morning stiffness within 7 to 14 days, though some people notice a subtle difference as early as day 3 or 4. This is not a miracle and it will not reverse decades overnight, but it may give you back a margin of safety that makes the difference between hesitating on a curb and stepping down with calm assurance. Tonight, about 90 minutes before your usual bedtime, boil water or brew a small cup of your favorite coffee. Decaf if you are sensitive to caffeine, or if regular coffee keeps you awake. Let it cool just enough that you can sip it comfortably, but keep it warm, because heat dissolves collagen powder far better than cold liquid. Measure 2 level tablespoons of unflavored hydrolyzed collagen peptides, the kind you find in a plain white or clear container at the pharmacy or grocery store, not the flavored versions loaded with sugar or artificial sweeteners that can spike your blood sugar or upset your stomach. Pour the powder slowly into the warm liquid and stir briskly for about 30 seconds, scraping the bottom and sides of the cup so no clumps hide at the bottom. If you find the texture slightly thicker than plain coffee, that is normal. If you want to make it creamier and easier to drink, add a teaspoon of coconut oil, a splash of whole milk, or a tablespoon of unsweetened almond milk. That small amount of fat helps your body absorb the amino acids more smoothly and gives you a richer flavor that feels comforting as you wind down for the night. Sip it slowly over 10 or 15 minutes while you read, listen to music, or simply sit in a quiet room. Then brush your teeth, finish your evening routine, and go to bed at your regular time. The ritual itself becomes grounding, a moment where you are actively investing in tomorrow's strength. While you sleep, the glycine from the collagen acts like a gentle messenger to your nervous system, helping you stay in deeper sleep phases longer so you wake fewer times to use the bathroom or shift positions. That continuity matters because your body secretes growth hormone and other repair signals most powerfully when you stay in uninterrupted slow-wave sleep. At the same time, the proline and hydroxyproline travel to the connective tissue around your joints and muscles, where enzymes use them to rebuild collagen fibers that have frayed or thinned with age, illness, or years of wear. By morning, you have slightly stronger support structures around your knees and ankles, and that translates into a feeling of firmness when you press your feet to the floor and stand up. This is cumulative, meaning each night builds on the last. After 7 nights, you have reinforced those tissues 7 times, and that is often enough to notice a real difference in how your legs respond when you ask them to hold you steady. Imagine the difference between walking on a rope bridge with frayed cables versus one with fresh, taut lines. The path is the same, but your confidence in each step changes completely. When you wake up, do not rush out of bed. Sit on the edge of the mattress for 30 seconds, roll your ankles in slow circles 10 times in each direction, and wiggle your toes to wake up the small muscles in your feet. This deliberate pause honors your body's need to transition from rest to movement. Then stand slowly and hold the edge of the bed or a nightstand for balance, and do 10 gentle calf raises, lifting your heels just an inch or two off the ground and lowering them back down in a controlled rhythm. This simple movement pumps blood and lymph fluid out of your lower legs, reduces morning puffiness, and activates the neuromuscular pathways that tell your brain where your legs are in space, a sense called proprioception that weakens as we age but responds beautifully to consistent practice. After the calf raises, march in place for 20 steps, lifting your knees just to hip height if you can do so safely, or raising them only as high as feels comfortable if your balance is uncertain. Hold a sturdy chair back or counter edge if you need to, and focus on the feeling of your feet pressing firmly into the floor each time you step. Finish with 10 slow hip circles, standing on one leg while holding support and drawing small circles with the opposite knee, then switching sides. The entire routine takes about 3 minutes, and when you pair it with the collagen you drank the night before, you are teaching your muscles and connective tissue to respond quickly and confidently to the demands of standing, walking, and navigating your home. One common mistake people make is drinking the collagen with ice-cold liquid because they prefer iced coffee or cold brew. But cold temperatures cause collagen powder to clump and settle at the bottom. You end up with gritty sludge that is unpleasant to swallow and may not dissolve fully in your gut. If you love iced coffee, brew it hot first, stir in the collagen while it is still warm, let it dissolve completely for a full minute, and then add ice and enjoy it cold. Another mistake is taking collagen in the morning with breakfast instead of at night, which is not harmful, but may not give you the same benefit because your body is busy digesting other foods and managing the day's activity instead of focusing all its resources on deep repair. Nighttime dosing aligns the supplement with your body's natural repair cycle, and that timing gives you the best chance of waking up with noticeable improvement. If you absolutely cannot tolerate anything close to bedtime because of acid reflux or a sensitive stomach, take the collagen with your dinner or right after your evening meal, at least 2 hours before you lie down. That still gives you some benefit, though it may take a few extra days to feel the results. If you have diabetes or prediabetes, collagen peptides have minimal impact on blood sugar because they contain no carbohydrates. But if you add sweetener or flavored creamers, check your glucose an hour after drinking and again in the morning to make sure you stay within your target range. If you take blood pressure medication, collagen is generally safe, but glycine can have a mild relaxing effect on blood vessels, so monitor your pressure for the first few days and talk to your doctor if you notice any unusual dizziness when you stand. For those on blood thinners like warfarin or rivaroxaban, collagen is typically fine, but large doses of certain amino acids can theoretically interact with clotting factors, so consult your clinician before starting and watch for any unusual bruising or bleeding. If you have gastroesophageal reflux disease or a hiatal hernia, lying down within an hour of drinking anything warm and protein-rich can trigger heartburn, so extend your window to 2 hours before bed or take the collagen with your dinner instead. If you are highly sensitive to caffeine, even a small cup of decaf coffee contains about 5 to 15 milligrams of residual caffeine, which might be enough to disrupt your sleep. Use an herbal tea like chamomile or rooibos as your warm base instead, and the collagen dissolves just as well. For those who cannot tolerate coffee at all, whether from acid sensitivity, caffeine intolerance, or simply personal preference, you have excellent alternatives that deliver the same benefit. Warm bone broth is a natural source of collagen, and you can sip 8 ounces of low-sodium chicken or beef bone broth 60 to 90 minutes before bed, optionally stirring in an extra tablespoon of collagen powder if you want a higher dose. The broth provides electrolytes like sodium and potassium that help your muscles contract smoothly, and the warmth is soothing to your digestive tract, making it ideal if you have a sensitive stomach. Another option is golden milk, made by heating 8 ounces of unsweetened almond milk or regular milk with a half teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper to enhance absorption, and 2 tablespoons of collagen peptide stirred in until smooth. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound that may reduce inflammation in joints and muscles, and when you combine it with collagen and the black pepper that helps your body absorb the curcumin, you get a triple benefit for leg comfort and strength. If you prefer something lighter, try mixing the collagen into 8 ounces of warm water with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice and a teaspoon of raw honey, which gives you a gentle citrus flavor and a touch of natural sweetness without added sugar. The lemon provides vitamin C, which your body needs to synthesize collagen efficiently, and the honey has trace minerals and a calming effect that may help you relax before sleep. All of these alternatives work as long as the liquid is warm enough to dissolve the collagen completely, and you take them at the same 60 to 90-minute window before bed. The ritual of preparing something warm and intentional for yourself becomes its own form of self-care, a signal to your body and mind that rest and repair are coming. If you are managing diabetes and worry about the honey or any added sweetness, use a sugar-free sweetener like stevia or monk fruit, or skip the sweetener entirely and let the natural mild flavor of the collagen come through, which most people describe as almost tasteless or slightly savory. If you are on a very low-protein diet for kidney disease, collagen adds about 10 grams of protein per serving, so talk to your nephrologist before adding it to your routine because your total daily protein intake may already be tightly controlled. For anyone with a history of kidney stones, especially calcium oxalate stones, collagen itself is not a major concern, but if you add it to black tea or spinach-based smoothies, the oxalates in those foods can bind with calcium and potentially increase stone risk. Stick with coffee, bone broth, or herbal teas like chamomile or rooibos instead. Within 3 to 4 days of starting this routine, you should begin to notice subtle changes, though everyone's timeline is different. You might find that your first few steps out of bed feel less stiff, that you do not need to hold the wall quite as tightly when you walk to the bathroom, or that your legs feel more responsive when you stand up from a chair. These are small wins, but they matter immensely because they add up to greater independence and less fear of falling. By day 7, many people report that they can complete a short walk around the house or yard without the heavy, tired feeling in their calves and thighs that used to set in after just a few minutes. Some notice that they sleep more soundly with fewer nighttime wake-ups, because the glycine in collagen has a calming effect on the nervous system. One woman told me she went from needing 2 hands on the railing to climb her porch steps, to walking up confidently with just one hand lightly guiding her, and that single change gave her back the courage to visit her grandchildren without worrying she would stumble in their driveway. To track your progress objectively and stay motivated, measure 3 simple things on day 1 before you start, and again on day 7. First, do a 30-second chair stand test, which means sitting in a sturdy chair with your arms crossed over your chest and standing up and sitting back down as many times as you can in 30 seconds without using your hands. Count each complete stand up and sit down as 1 repetition and write down the number. On day 7, repeat the test and compare. If you go from 8 repetitions to 10 or 11, that is a meaningful improvement in leg strength and endurance. Second, measure how long it takes you to walk 10 meters, which is about 33 feet or roughly the length of a hallway or driveway. Use a stopwatch or the timer on your phone, walk at your normal comfortable pace, and write down the time in seconds. On day 7, walk the same distance and see if your time has decreased even by a second or 2, which indicates better efficiency and confidence in your gait. Third, rate your first hour steadiness on a scale of 1 to 5 every morning, where 1 means you feel very unsteady and need to hold on to things constantly, and 5 means you feel confident and balanced with minimal support. Write down your score each day and look for an upward trend over the week. These 3 metrics give you concrete evidence of change, and they help you adjust your dose or timing if you are not seeing improvement by day 3 or 4. Numbers do not lie, and when you see them move in the right direction, you know your effort is paying off. If by day 4 you have not noticed any difference in how your legs feel or your tracking numbers have not budged, consider increasing your collagen dose to 3 tablespoons or about 15 grams, still taken in warm liquid 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Some people need a slightly higher dose because they have lower baseline collagen stores, more severe joint wear, or higher body weight that requires more amino acids to make a noticeable impact. If increasing the dose does not help by day 7, check your timing and make sure you are drinking the collagen consistently every night and not skipping doses, because consistency is what drives cumulative repair. Also confirm that you are doing the morning activation routine, because collagen supports tissue structure, but movement activates blood flow and neuromuscular signaling, and you need both for optimal results. If you still see no improvement after 14 days of consistent use at 15 grams per night plus the morning routine, talk to your doctor about other factors that might be limiting your progress, such as vitamin D deficiency, uncontrolled inflammation from arthritis, or a medication that interferes with protein synthesis. Sometimes the body needs more than one intervention, and a good clinician can help you identify what else might be holding you back. If at any point during the first week you experience unusual heart palpitations, dizziness that does not resolve after sitting for a few minutes, persistent stomach upset or diarrhea, or blood sugar readings that are significantly higher or lower than your normal range, stop the collagen and consult your clinician. These reactions are rare, but they indicate that your body may not be tolerating the supplement well, or that it is interacting with a medication or underlying condition that needs attention. Do not push through discomfort in the hope that it will resolve on its own, because your safety is always more important than any supplement routine. After you complete your first 7 days and you see improvement in your chair stand count, your walk time, or your steadiness score, come back and leave a comment that says Day 1 versus Day 7, followed by your numbers. Sharing your progress helps other viewers feel encouraged and supported, and it keeps you accountable to continuing the practice. If you hit a plateau after 2 or 3 weeks, try increasing your morning routine to 5 minutes by adding side leg lifts or gentle squats against the counter edge, or add a short walk after breakfast to keep building on the strength you have gained. Collagen alone will not make your legs stronger forever if you stop challenging them, but when you pair consistent nightly supplementation with daily movement, even gentle movement, you create a positive cycle where stronger tissues allow you to move more confidently and more movement signals your body to keep building strength. Think of it as a partnership between the collagen feeding your tissues and the movement teaching them how to use that fuel. One without the other is incomplete, but together they become transformative. Tonight, before you go to bed, take 2 level tablespoons of unflavored hydrolyzed collagen peptides. Stir them into 8 ounces of warm coffee, decaf coffee, bone broth, herbal tea, or golden milk, and sip it slowly 60 to 90 minutes before you lie down. When you wake up, sit on the edge of the bed, do your ankle rolls, your calf raises, your marching steps, and your hip circles, and notice how your legs respond. Track your chair stand count, your 10-meter walk time, and your first hour steadiness score on day 1 and again on day 7, and adjust your dose or timing if you need to by midweek. If you have diabetes, blood pressure concerns, acid reflux, or you take blood thinners, check with your clinician before starting and stop if you notice any unusual symptoms. This is education, not medical advice, and your safety always comes first. If you found this practical and you want more evidence-based strategies for staying strong, steady, and independent as you age, subscribe to Dr. Adriana, Putiti's Senior Health so you do not miss the next video. Your legs have carried you this far, and with a little nightly support and a few minutes of morning movement, they can carry you much farther still, with confidence, dignity, and the freedom to move through your days without fear. 7 days from now, you may stand at your kitchen counter making breakfast and realize you have not thought about your balance once because your body simply knows it can hold you steady. That quiet certainty is what we are building, one warm cup and one morning routine at a time.